Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll be discussing the best fixtures and top players to buy for Fantasy Premier League. We'll also discuss the most transferred players of the week and answer your questions from social media. Lastly, we will share some optimal wildcard drafts. Stick around until the end as the wildcard drafts have some surprises that could truly skyrocket your rank. First, let's look at fixture difficulty so far for each Premier League team. This is the fixture difficulty rating FDR for game weeks 1 to 10, focusing on attackers. Aston Villa had an FDR of 1.09, meaning they faced defenses 9% easier than average, giving Watkins and Rodgers likely inflated stats. So expect a slight drop-off in their numbers with tougher fixtures ahead. On the flip side, Wolves are at the bottom with an FDR of 0.89, meaning they face defenses 11% tougher than average. So if their attackers have shown low threat, remember that it's partly due to a tough opening schedule. They should improve soon. Now let's look at FDR for defenders from game weeks 1 to 10. Aston Villa, again, had the easiest schedule with a 0.93 FDR, facing attackers 7% weaker than average. West Ham, however, had the toughest schedule, facing attacks 7% stronger than the league average. Using FDR, expected goals XG, and some math, we can predict fixture difficulty for the coming game weeks. For attackers, Wolves top the list with a value of 1.09, meaning they're expected to score 9% more than if they had an average schedule. At the bottom is Manchester City with an FDR of 0.82-, not the best time to buy their assets. For defenders, Liverpool tops the list with 2.23 expected clean sheets over the next 7 game weeks. Even though their schedule is favorable, clean sheets are hard to come by this season with an average rate of just 21%. Now, let's look at the projected points for players from game weeks 11 to 17 based on FDR XGI and projections. Palmer leads the table with 48.08 projected points, especially strong in game week 16 against Brentford at Stamford Bridge. Haaland follows with 43 points, but as we saw with City's tough schedule, he may not offer the best value for money. Consider planning an exit strategy around game week 13. Salah, Fernandes, Saka, and Semenyo join Palmer as the top 5 midfielders. Palmer should be a priority, while Fernandes is a great option if you're looking to upgrade your midfield. Semenyo is a fantastic budget choice. For forwards, Solanke stands out as a must-have after Haaland. If you're considering him, now is the best time, with game week 11 against Ipswich being a prime fixture. Isak, Jackson, and Solanke form a potent attacking trio, but if you need a cheaper option, Wissa and Jimenez also stand out. Some may wonder about Kuna's low ranking. Despite easy fixtures, Kuna averages only 0.29 XG per 90 minutes, far lower than Jimenez at 0.76. Adjusting for Wolves' tough schedule, Kuna still doesn't show the promise of a major goal threat. You may also notice very few defenders in the top 50 players. Clean sheets are scarce, and most teams use fullbacks more conservatively. If you need a defender, Milenkovic is currently the best option, while Ait Nouri is also worth considering. Alexander-Arnold is worth holding on to if you already have him. Now let's go over the most transferred out players. Haaland tops the list, which makes sense given his price of 15.4. With City's tough upcoming schedule, it might be time to say goodbye to the robot. Injured players like Van de Ven and Eze are also popular transfers out, with Milenkovic solid replacement for Van de Ven. Diaz is also among the most sold players because of his reduced minutes. Best replacements for Diaz and Eze's is Fernandes in this price range. Palmer is the best midfielder if you can afford him. Semenyo is the best budget option if you need to save money. Looking at the most transferred in players, Wood tops the list after scoring twice against West Ham. However, he's overperforming his stats, so don't expect him to keep scoring at this rate. Solanke is a smarter pick with a 0.73 XG per 90 compared to Wood's 0.58. Nottingham's Aina is a popular transfer, but Milenkovic's set-piece threat makes him a better choice. Salah inside the most transferred players is never a surprise since he is consistently one of the best assets in FPL. You can never go wrong with him. Mbeumo is also a good pick in his price range, but the best Brentford fixtures are gone, and you are a little late if you buy him now. I would prioritize other transfers right now. Here's my team. I have 2 free transfers and 0 in the bank. I'm planning to roll my transfers, though I might bring in Fernandes for Saka and Solanke for Wissa. What do you think? Let's also react to some social media comments. Andy jokes about those holding on to Raya, and Gabriel highlighting the challenge of securing clean sheets this season. Clean sheets are hard to get, and you shouldn't invest in defenders and gully keepers. In the same time, no defender is good enough to justify a transfer. If you already own an expensive defender, you can hold him and don't invest a transfer on him unless you need the money to upgrade another player. Squid compares Rodgers and Semenyo, noting that while Rodgers may be the better footballer, FPL rewards goals and assists where Semenyo has the edge. Tranquillo mentions Haaland's recent drop in points, but remember, FPL is a marathon, not a sprint. Haaland's earlier 10 goals from 5xG were unsustainable focus on players' underlying stats rather than short-term scoring bursts. Finally, let's look at some optimal wildcard drafts according to our model. Using all the information and a lot of math, we built 3 top-tier drafts for you. First, a high-risk squad with a weak bench but huge potential points. If you prefer a more balanced team with a stronger bench, here's a safer wildcard setup. Lastly, a wildcard draft featuring Haaland for those who want to keep him, using budget defenders to balance a strong midfield and attack. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please support us by liking and subscribing. This content takes days of work, so your support means a lot.